Alright, you kiddos. Hey, I don't feel great, so I thought I'd just make a quick video that you guys could watch and do this paper along with me. Right now, will you guys pause the video and try these spiral review problems? And then when you're ready to check your work, watch the video again, but try to do them before, or at least try them before you see the answers. Okay? So thanks, you guys. So pause the video right now and give these problems a shot. So rewrite the following part-to-part ratio as a part to whole. So boys to girls. So 8 girls for every 3 boys. So that would be 3 out of 11 if we're doing part to whole. Okay, because there's 3 plus 8, 11 people. So there's 3 boys out of 11 total people. 3 out of 11. Okay? Okay, solve this proportion. Pretty easy. I think most people can see that half of 10 is 5. Half of 10 is 5, and half of 4 is 2. So x equals 2. Negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times a positive is a negative. And you could just type those in the calculator. Alright? Again, thanks for taking time to think. It's not your job just to copy. It's your job to try to figure this out. So thanks, you good people. Okay. Probability. Number 4 is a good problem because we haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of probability. So they did 10 draws, and this says find the experimental probability of drawing a red. So let's just look at red. How many reds were there? It looks like there was 1 here, 2 reds. So 2 out of 10 is the probability, or 1/5, which is 0.20, which is 20%. 20% probability. So if you had 100 marbles in a bag, how many of them do you think there'd be red? Well, 2 out of 10 were red. How many out of 100? Well, that's pretty easy, I think. 10 times 10 is 100. 2 times 10 is 20. So 20 out of 100, still 20%, isn't it? So you'd probably expect to get 20 marbles that were red, according to the experimental probability. Alright? Alright. Nice job. You guys are cruising along. We're already halfway done with the paper. Alright, so if angle N is vertical to angle M, we'll just call this N and M. So if 2 lines cross, they make vertical angles. So these are equal angles. And if we tell you that this is 98, that means angle N has to be 98, but of course they give it to you as 6x plus 2. So I guess we can just set those 2 equations equal. 6x plus 2 equals 98. The not so close friend leaves first. 6x equals 96. Divide both sides by 6. And x equals, let's see, 96 divided by 6 is 1/16. Okay? Awesome. You guys are doing great. Alright, new concept. New concept. Outcomes. Outcomes. Theoretical outcomes for tossing a fair coin 3 times. It says, what is the sample space? Really, it just means how many outcomes are there? The sample space. Says here there should be 8 outcomes if you toss a coin 3 times. Okay? So set notation is just this weird little thing like this. So we know we could get tails, 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 right? We know we could get tails, tails, heads. And why don't you stop and see if you can think of the other 6? Push pause right now. Pause and think. Don't just copy me. Alright? Alright, so you've paused the video, and now you're back checking your work. Let's see. So let's try. So tails, heads, heads. And then we could do tails, heads, tails. That's 4. I need 4 more. So let's try heads, heads, heads. Let's try heads, heads, tails. Let's try heads, tails, tails. I don't have any of those yet, and so heads, tails, heads. There they are. There they are. Okay? So, awesome. So, letter B, it says, what is the probability of each of the 8 outcomes? So, well, I think we ought to just worry about like a couple. So let's not do all 8. Let's just do the probability of all tails. So how many ways are you going to get all tails? Well, 1. There's only one way to do it out of 8. So it's a 1/8, which is 0.125, which is 12.5%. It's not very likely, is it? Not very likely. But what's the probability? Let's do one more. We won't do all 8. Let's do the probability of getting 2 tails and a head. And the order doesn't matter. So 2 tails and a head. So we got 1 here and 1 here. They're backwards, but oh, and a 3rd one here. Any more? Nope. So that would be 3 out of 8. Which, if I divide the 3 by the 8, I get 0.375. 37.5%. Alright? Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, you guys. So, that's just a little bit of idea about sample space. Let's move on to dot plots. And mean, median, mode, range. You've been doing this since you were little people. Just wee little peoples. Okay? So mean is the average. Median is the middle. Mode is the most occurring. Occurs the most. Range is the big minus the small. So let's do these. Let's start with the range. So 13 is the biggest number, right? Number of TVs. Oh, okay. So someone had 13 TVs in their house. What's the smallest number? 1. So 13 minus 1 is 12. Okay? Okay, now you think for a minute. What number occurs the most in this dot plot? obviously 5. It occurred 4 times. The middle number. Let's see. Let's cross off till we get to the middle. Looks like it's this one right here. 5. And now let's find the average. Average is a pain. You got to add them all up. So 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 13. And if you add all those up, you get 6, 8, 10, 11. I better just do the math. 20, 21, 20. Okay, I'll just use a calculator. My brain hurts. Okay. All right. 21, 41, 47, 50, 52. I get 55. So 55. 55. So the average is 55 divided by how many numbers there were. There's 10 numbers. So 55 divided by 10 is 5.5 is the average. Okay? That's a quick review. You know how to do this stuff. Alright? Alright. Now, here's the cool stuff. Box and whisker plots. They're kind of cool. What you do is you just draw a line. Now I'm going to try to match it up with this dot right here. So when you build this box and whisker plot, you put a little mark there, and then you draw your whisker over to 13. And so that's our min and our max. So 13 was our max, 1 was our min. Okay? Next step is to find the middle of the box and whisker plot. So again, we already did this once. We cross off until we get to the middle, which is that one. So 5. So I come straight down from 5 right here, and I draw a bigger line. This is the middle of my box, so I put 5 here. Okay? The next thing I do is I find the lower median, or lower middle. So watch what I do. So I'm going to cross off this one, and this one, this one, and this one. And that means it's that one, 2. So I put a box. I got my lower box right here. And then, and we call this quartile 1. Q1, quartile 1. Okay? And then I do the same thing in the upper quartile. So I cross off this one, and this one, this one, and this one. Ends up being 6. So 6 right there. Okay? So quartile 3, it's right there. And so what we can say is 25% of our numbers are here, 25% are here, 25% are from here to here, and 25% are from here to here. Okay? And then the last big word you got to know is I, Q, R, and that's interquartile range. And that's just Q3 minus Q1. Well, let's see. What's Q3? 6. Q1 is 2. So 6 minus 2 is 4. So the IQR is 4. Alright? You guys are awesome for listening to me. I am sorry I sound horrible. Thanks for being so good and for doing your best, guys. I appreciate it a lot. Okay. Now, if you want to go to this website, just type it in, mrnussbaum.com/graph/bw/. You'll get a box and whisker plot creator. Okay? And so we can check our work. So you go there, and then all you got to do is type in the values here. Type the title, how many TVs. Okay? And just type in the 10 numbers that we just did. I think they were, yeah, just type in 1, 2 2s, a 3, 4 5s, a 6, an 8, and a 13. So you'll type a 1 here first, then a 2, and then whatever you need to type in to get this done. Okay? And it'll spit out a box and whisker plot. You can see if we are right. Okay? And the last thing you need to do, how many TVs do you have? Let's do a quick survey, and we'll make a box and whisker plot together as soon as everybody finishes this. Thanks, you guys.